Business is really warfare, but it's the activity of life itself. You say, well, business means I need to open up a business. Okay, yeah, that's right. But real activity of life has to deal with all the essentials of life that we must provide for ourselves, our families, our future. I have something in my pocket that, gee, where is it? Oh, yeah. I have a gold coin. In 1961, I was sitting with Elijah Muhammad, and he took out of his pocket a gold coin. This is 1 ounce of gold, pure gold, okay? Mr. Muhammad put it on the table. He said, one day soon, this gold coin will be the new medium of exchange. White people are moving into the inner city. Some of them knocking on doors. They come with money and they ask you for your gold. Because what they're giving you, I think I got some of that in my pocket. Yeah, I think I do. Now this is paper. This is not real money. This is real money. Silver as real money. Now you young people, some of the elders in the audience, like myself, this used to be called a silver certificate. How many old people in here know when this was a silver certificate? And you know what it said on the bottom? Pay to the bearer on demand $50 in silver, the real money. This is what you call monopoly money. Oh, you didn't hear me. We're going to do some business tonight. Because business is really warfare. What's about to happen? This week it came out in the news that in 2016, all the major banks are in trouble. It started with J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. What makes a bank in trouble? When the value of the paper that they have begins to lose its value, then the bank is in serious trouble. And so are we who have our money in the bank. Now, white people that are in your neighborhood, they're in the pawn shop now, and they're telling you in the window, bring the gold, we got cash for you. They know you don't know that this is losing its value every day. But gold will increase in value. Now this one here, I bought it today, or sent a brother to get it today, because I wanted to use it to explain something. 1 ounce of gold, this little piece right here, is 12 hell and set up heaven right on earth. And it's so simple. We have a project that we are working on. We call it Project Steal Away, an FOI and MGT financial freedom plan. We want every brother and every sister within the next year to be able to say, I do not work for white folks anymore. I work for myself. Now look, do you realize what it takes to build a hospital? Do you realize what it takes to build a university? You can't build a hospital and a university. You can't buy tens of thousands of acres of land to feed our people if we're just gonna wait on the little money you make from the white man to give a little charitable donation. We'll be around here for the next 1,000 years talking about building a school or a hospital. Do you realize that if we took this financial freedom plan and said, look, I'm really going to try and work for myself. I'm going to use my life in a better way. I'm going to stop believing that there's some mystery God that's going to change reality for me. I'm going to change the reality in my own life. Brother, when you start thinking like that, you will start using the power of your own self, and you'll see that you got all the power you need to change reality. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the fire of the sun is the life and the energy that energizes our universe. He said the fire of the sun is in all of us. So that means you've got light, you've got power. It just has to be turned on, activated. Now just think with me in the closing minutes of this lecture what damage it does to your mind to think that there's a mystery God. Check this out. I'm at home and I'm hungry. My children are hungry. And I go in my next room and I pray, Lord, give us this day our daily bread. Amen. And I come out and sit down. Children, don't worry. The Lord is going to take care of everything. You keep on sitting there, doing nothing, praying that the Lord will give you some daily bread. See, if you and your family don't starve to death, waiting on the Lord. But if you went in your room and said, Lord, give us this day our daily bread. And I know you're going to do it because you got control over conditions. So now, Lord, I'm going to work in my wheat field. I'm plowing it up. And I'm planting wheat because you can't have bread without wheat or flour. So I'm doing my part. Then God sends the clouds with the rain and the earth does its part. And before you know it, I got a field of wheat and I grind the wheat into flour and then I make me some daily bread. I'm not talking about daily the mayor giving you bread. I'm talking about you going to work daily producing your own bread. If you sit around and wait for a mystery God, you're going to be poor, ragged, hungry, naked, and out of doors. Any of you Muslims who call yourself followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they're still working for the Caucasian and still planning to stay there with him. You don't follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If you follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you know that the white man is going to dump black people, and he already has dumped a great portion of us. He doesn't have no more jobs for our young men. So what are we going to do? Allow our young men to be swallowed up selling drugs? Or are we going to call our young men and say, no, we got to go to work and create jobs for ourselves? I'm saying steal away. If you can't walk away, steal away, and let's go on and do something for ourselves.
Greetings, everyone. How's everyone doing on this beautiful Tuesday night? It's your brother, Mahdi, Supreme X, CEO and founder of Forward Money Network, and I'm also a student in the cause of Islam under the tutelage of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So let us open up in the proper manner, but we hope that got you ready, that got people here. So I hope you are sharing this out, texting this out, because we got a powerful broadcast for you tonight. So let me open up in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, who appeared to us in the personage of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi, the man that came 9,000 miles to give us a wisdom about ourselves that we had never had, that we didn't even consider having. And he found a man in Black Bottom, Detroit in 1931 by the name of Elijah Poole at that time. And he taught him and trained him for 3 years and 4 months. And then he went away. And the man that he taught is none other than the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the man that taught the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the man that taught Muhammad Ali, the man that taught Malcolm X, Imam Wadim Muhammad, the man that taught Jeremiah Shabazz, some of those great ministers in the nation that you hear about, you have heard about, but they never teach you about the tree. The only one that teach you about the tree to those branches that I just mentioned is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So if it wasn't for the minister standing up in 1977, September to be exact, and rebuilding the work of his father, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and putting his name back into the hearts and minds to people all over the world, and bringing to us this same wisdom, keeping the teachings intact and advancing it and taking us further, we wouldn't be talking about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We probably wouldn't even be talking about Islam, period, right? So we thank Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who worked in America for 44 years. And we also thank Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has been working in America for over 60 plus years, but now he has been working in America for 44 years, absent his teacher, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So this is Business is Warfare broadcast. This is the broadcast where we like to talk about money, right? We like to not just talk about money. We like to give you the science of business. Because one of the main key points that Master Fard Muhammad came and brought us, he came and brought us the science of business, and he came and told us everything that's dealing with this world. And when I'm talking about this world, I'm talking about this world that mindset is dominated by the Caucasian people, right? Primarily the Zionist Jew or the Jewish people, right? And understand that Zionism and Judaism is not the same. So we're here to show you this science and to help unlock some of the rust and knocks that's in your brain when it comes to money and when it comes to everything that's righteous and everything that's positive. Because everything of this world is always something negative. Anything that you think about, family, it's always something negative. Why? Because that people was made with a negative mindset. They was made from the negative side of the original life force, the supreme being. That's the side that they come from. Now, this is not a knock to you or a bashing to you if you are white. This ain't that type of party. But you have to consider what your people have did, whether you indirectly benefited from it or directly benefited from it. Whether you are ancestor or are descendant from these particular Jewish families that run the whole planet or not. But you need to ask yourself why every place that a Caucasian head of state government is set up on this planet, it is total chaos and mayhem where that's at. It don't matter. You can go to Germany. I mean, Europe. You can go to any place where they at in Africa, right? Who dominates South Africa, right? What's going on in South Africa? Who dominate Germany? Who dominate Berlin? Who dominate Frankfurt? Who dominate England? Who dominate these Paris, London? Who dominate the UK? Who runs that? Who runs America? Who runs Canada? These are just questions you have to ask yourself, right? So don't think that we are against you because of the color of your skin. It is not. We're not against you at all because you don't have no control over me and what I do. You're not a ruler. We're talking about to the rulers. We're talking about to the policymakers, to the ones that run the politicians, the ones that run religion, the ones that run education, and the one who runs these dollars right here that we're going to get into tonight. That's who we're talking to. So if you Caucasian and you jump on this line, you don't have to jump off. And let it be known that the Nation of Islam, we are not racist. We have never did anything to anybody just because of the color of their skin or their religion. So they want to tell you that we're anti-Semitic. You ask them to explain what is a Semitic person. What is Semitic? What is a Semite? Ask these questions so they can tell you, right? Now the Arabs, they are Semites. Do they ever tell you? Do you ever hear them call us anti-Arab? No, you don't hear that, do you? Right? The Hebrews, the original Hebrews, the Hebrews in that part of the planet, this means the Palestinians. Do you hear them call us anti-Palestinians? You don't hear that, do you? Yemen, all of these places over there in that Middle Eastern area, these are Semites, the Iranians, Pakistani, these people are Semites. Do you hear them call us Semite to those particular people? No, you only hear them call us anti-Semitic, and when they talking about the so-called Jews who ain't Semitic at all. But that's for another topic, another live stream, not this one, right? So we want to thank everybody that's been subscribing to our YouTube channel. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and we want to thank everybody that has shared this out and everybody that has made a comment to what we're doing, right? Please, if you want to subscribe and support the number one national, international black newspaper on the planet, then text FCN to that number running at the bottom of the screen and get you a 12-week digital subscription or physical. We also do mail-ins too, but you can also get it straight to your email. We got that for you too, and you can become a weekly supporter of the Final Call newspaper in the Nation of Islam. All right. Then if you want to donate to Muhammad's economic blueprint, to us having a national bank, to us getting farmland, to us building homes, to us producing jobs, producing food, then go to www.economicblueprint.org and donate whatever you want to donate. Whatever is on your heart to donate, right? And if you want to know about Project Exodus 10,000, a true, sound, decentralized, financial, independent plan, then you send an email to that email running at the bottom of your screen with your name, your number, and the best time to contact you, and let us set up an interview so we can see, or you can see, if this plan is something that you want to be a part of, right? And when we're talking about this plan, we're talking about showing you what financial independence look like. The financial freedom got to come first, and then independence. Ain't they the same? Somewhat, they similar. For another stream, we would go over that, but they are not actually totally the same. They're a little different, right? But for another stream, another time, we will go into those definitions to prove to you and give you a deeper understanding so you can have both, right? So, we Far Money Network, we are here, and we are here to talk about and expose, further expose, rather, the synagogue of Satan, the so-called Jews, in their monetary policies, in their banking system that's called the Federal Reserve Bank, the IMF, and the World Bank. We are here to show you all the facts dealing with that and to expose to you and to prove to you that the reason we got mass poverty on the planet, not just America, but on the planet, because through the IMF and the World Bank, America in this synagogue of Satan has put the whole planet in poverty, has put the whole planet in a place of helplessness when it comes to money. So we're here to show you this and to keep this on your brain, right? We know some of you not going to get it right now. We understand that. But we got to be the ones out front that's keeping this on your brain. Because the man behind me, this is why they was here. To read these men behind me. This is why they was here. This is why Master Fard Muhammad came. He came to set these people down, to destroy this system. But he had to go to the root of it first, shine the light on the root of it so everybody can see it for what it is, and then we can move accordingly and get out of it. Now, he taught this to the Most Honorable Ali Muhammad. The Most Honorable Ali Muhammad is the first known black man in America to stand up in America teaching that gold was money. He's the first known black man or figure in America to stand up in America and publicly teach that the dollar was going to eventually collapse and fall, like all other fiat currencies fail. That's what he taught, right? And he taught it in multiple publications, multiple books. So you can hear about Robert Kiyosaki, the Peter Schiffs, the Mike Malone's, the Patrick Ben-Daddies talking about that now. But who paid the way for them? Where did they get it from? Who gave them the courage to stand up and do it? Right? You better understand what's really happening. So we look at America's debt. Now, this is the national debt clock. You see it say United States Debt Clock, ORG, right? This here is very significant to this system that we need to get an understanding on. This is the last tool that the enemy is going to try to use, this is the last stranglehold that he has on us as a people to being free. It's this dollar. So the more of us get an understanding on this, the more of us get inside of other systems, other financial institutions, and other networks, then the better, the faster we will get away from this, and we can really get free and really demand reparations. See, it's hard for us to demand reparations right now, where the majority of us depend on his dollar. See, the majority of us right now, the majority of you watching this now, the majority of you that's going to watch this later, you don't understand nothing about this. You just know how to trade time for it, sell a product for it, and go and buy something with it. You don't know how to do anything else. You don't know anything else about it. You don't read it. You don't question how it comes into existence. Why does it say Federal Reserve note? What did the currency say 100 years ago? What did the currency say 50, 60 years ago? What did it say? Did it say Federal Reserve note back then? Do you know? Right? How does the banking system work? Why do you pay fees? Why does the banks put restrictions on you when you try to move your money? Why is it a such thing as a 401k? Where did that come from? What is the stock market? Who is Wall Street? Who are these international bankers? Why does no president that comes into power, so-called power, put any policies on the Federal Reserve and the United States Treasury? Why is the Federal Reserve Zionist Jew heavy at the top? Why? Have you asked yourself these questions, right? Why is the head of the chairman of the Federal Reserve a Zionist Jew? Why has it always, the chairman of the board of the Federal Reserve has always, for the most part, since Ronald Reagan was the president, has always it's been a Jew? Why? See, people, we run around and we look for a pyramid and we call everything a scam, except the number one Ponzi scheme, the number one scam, the longest running scam in the history of mankind in the last 6,000 years. This is the number one scam right here. Why we ain't talking about that? Why we ain't studying this and trying to see, like, damn, why do I pay taxes to, now they telling me we paying taxes to pay the interest off on this debt that America is steadily building, but the debt is steadily going up. So is our taxes really paying the debt, or is it paying somebody's salary? Is it somebody's passive income? Is it somebody's that we don't know residual income? They want to tell you that Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. Don't you believe that foolishness, right? Who prints the money that Jeff Bezos that makes him the richest man in the world? Who prints it? Because the ones who print this, they got to be the richest people on the planet. Why? Because they print this. And they can print this at will at any given time. So we just want to wake up the masses about this, but we want to keep this in your face. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop, because the man that came, Master Fard Muhammad, he taught that this was going to eventually fall. At the age of 6, he was born in 1877 in the holy city of Mecca, Arabia. 1877, excuse me. In 1883, when he was just 6 years old. Just 6. He saw himself pushing these bankers into a lake of fire. Not the politicians, not the preachers, not the Christians, not the Jews. These bankers. That's what we saw. We talking about a man with so much vision that I would not even run you off of this stream trying to explain that to you. But just believe, he's a powerful being. And he is alive well, and he is in power. And he taught this science to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad stood up in America for 44 years teaching this. And he did not waver. He did not back down. The enemy couldn't do nothing with him. The enemy jailed the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1941, 42 for not registering for World War II. I think it was World War II. One of those wars. Might have been the Vietnam War. No, not the Vietnam War. World War II, I think. Right? Locked him up, said he was draft dodging, but the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was already 45 years old, so the age limit was 44. So once he hit 45, he didn't have to draft. He didn't have to register for the war. So he was locked up for nearly 5 years for teaching you what we're talking about right here today. And if you want to know more about that, you want to hear the history about that and get it in writing, it's all in Message to the Black Man. It's all right here. You want to know about the fall of the dollar and what's going to happen and what's happening into America right now, because some of us see that as a great, hey, listen, if you don't think a great, mighty change is taking place right now, then you just really sleep. You just really dead, right? Fall of America. He talked about the dollar falling in a chapter called The Decline of the Dollar. He talked about that in this. And he talked about what caused this fall. Then we want to bring you up to date in terminology that you can see. And no, people like to call us anti-Semitic. We got the proof that we can prove that them Zionist Jews, not Judaism, Zionist Jew, those pro-Israelis, those Israelis over there, we can prove to you that they are anti-black. We got the proof of that. See, they ain't got the proof of us being anti-Semitic. They ain't got one piece of proof of it. See, we got books proving from their lips that they are anti-black. That's what we can charge them with, right? It's like we got another book, Jews Selling Blacks, auction sales. This is what we have. This is the bottom knowledge that we bringing to you. You haven't went and got this book. We've been promoting this book for over 2 years now, or around 2 years. Every Tuesday night, and a lot of other different streams. We've been promoting this book to you, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, Volume 2, How Jews Gain Control of the Black American Economy. Do you want to understand why that Zionist Jew run Hollywood? Why do he, how, or why they run the entertainment world, the rappers, the football players, the basketball players, major league sports? They run that. They run the books. That's why they was able to take this off of Amazon, these books, because it exposed them from their scholars, from their rabbis, from their professors, from their writers, from their historians. This is the only people we quoted in this book. And y'all been sitting here watching us, listening to me tell you about this book. Have you went to the Nation of Islam website and ordered this book and read it? See, we can rate your level of want to be really free and really want to fight white supremacy, right? See, we can rate it by asking you, have you paid $20 in investment into what you don't know? See, if you get this book here and you was to study this book, you will love Far Money Network. Not just love Far Money Network, because it ain't about us. That's why it's called Far Money. Because we don't want you, I don't even want you to think about me when you think about what we're doing. I want you to think about the God, the great Mahdi that came, that told us this, our Savior. That's what we want you to think about when you hear that name, Fard. Not think about me. Not thinking about me, right? I want you to think about this man right here. This is who I want you to think about, not me. Right? I want you to think about him. Well, brother, that's your Facebook name. That's your, listen. That's for another topic, another story, why that's that. I named my son that. That's his name. But there's a reason behind that. For anybody that's watching that might see this. To feel any type of way, right? But what about Supreme X? Yes. I understand that we want to do everything to highlight him. So I want you to see me. I want you to see him. I'm just a vessel. And I want you to see his top student, the one that he taught and met with God. Do you know this man here is the only man in the history of America that say he met with God? And nobody has ever challenged him. Nobody has ever challenged us. That's why when they talk about the Nation of Islam, they don't want to tell you that the founder, that we saying and we bear witness, and we stand on the fact, the truth. Or if you want to call it just our belief, well, why the Nation of Islam ministers can't be defeated in any type of debate? Why when Malcolm X was in the nation, he didn't never lose a debate? Why right now our brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad losing no debate? We ain't even talking about it. We didn't even bring out the minister, right? Why these same Jews that call us anti-Semitic don't want to come to the table and dialogue, or even they don't even want to debate, let alone talk about a dialogue? Why? Have you asked yourself that? Right? Is we ain't this for all you talking to you so-called conscious Negroes now, all you so-called religious heads, right, that don't like the nation, afraid to talk about the nation and to talk about the minister, scared to mention his name on your platforms. If you mention us, you want to talk negative about us because you want to please who? Who you want to please? When you're afraid to mention us, right? You don't want us to come to your platform and mention the minister. Who you trying to please, brother? Or you got something negative to say? Well, yeah, I like the nation for what they do, but I don't agree with this. Who asked you what you agree with? You're not equal to us in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. How could you agree with us? You don't understand and comprehend how we understand. You can't agree with us about certain things because you don't understand it. You don't have a comprehensive knowledge of what we're talking about. You don't have a comprehensive knowledge on the enemy. Even the history of the enemy, the history of this, we've been told it all. I'm letting that debt clock, that's your dollar, that's your economy. Look at it run. Look at that clock run. That's real time. It's running millions of dollars, just going up into the debt. And y'all don't want to get rid of the dollar. Look at you, you taxpayers. You willingly taxpayers. You are willingly aiding this scam. Oh, you telling us not to pay taxes? No, I'm not telling you not to pay that for the disclaimers. But it's ways to minimize them. And you ain't going to be able to minimize them on your job. While you looking for another job, while you selling the young generation a job, you are putting them into this fire, into this debt bubble that's going to burst, and it's going to be a major, major event that take place that's going to be a ricochet effect all over the planet. And you're not prepared. You are not prepared. Majority of us are not prepared. We might think we are, but we're not. So how many of y'all went and got this book? I already have it, right? We can give you the link to this book. You need the book. For real, right? You need this book. You feel me? That's what we need to get an understanding about, right? So you need this book. And to make this book simpler, you can go and get this book here. Now, Amazon ain't took this book off. I believe that's why they gave it this name. That's why they made it so short and they put it out there. Still come from the Nation of Islam Research Department. But it's called How White Folks Got So Rich, the Untold Story of American White Supremacy. Do we know how they got so rich? Have we considered these things? Now, I know some of y'all scared. Man, let it be. We free now. We had a black president. Yeah, that didn't make no damn policies. Yeah, we had a black president that didn't free damn black person. He might have freed some of our children's mind where they believe that they can be rulers or be whatever they want to be because they seen a black man as the president. But outside of that, he ain't free. He ain't did nothing. But it wasn't his fault. And they don't no knock on him and his character. You got to understand the seat. That president seat of America has been there since the first president, who was a slave owner. And he was a Shriner, a Muslim son, as we are taught by Master Fard Muhammad. A Muslim son is a white Muslim, where they have to study for 35 to 50 years before they can wear the flag of Islam. Oh, yeah, man, we got the signs on everything. George Washington was a Shriner, and he was a slave owner. So what that tell you? They read the Quran, the book that you know nothing about, the book that you ain't tried to read, ain't tried to get in and read it, right? They have read this. They studied this Quran. Why? They know one of the ways they knew how to set up a world, they just did the opposite of it was studying the Quran. But look at this debt. $29 trillion. The total debt, $85 trillion. It's a bubble. When is it going to burst, Supreme? I don't know. But it is going to burst. You best believe that. You can put your life on that. That's going to happen. This ain't doom and gloom. But sometimes we got to teach and we got to talk in a way that's going to cause you to think, what if you like what I'm saying? What if you agree with what I'm saying? We just want you to go back. I want you to think about it. I want you to have a nightmare about it. I want you to wake up out of your sleep and say, what is this? It just dawned on me what he was saying. I don't really like him. It don't matter. That's irrelevant to me. It's immaterial to me whether you like me or not. I didn't give 2 cents. I don't like your delivery. You're too strong. No, you're just too soft. Right? I'm not talking at you. I'm talking to that God that's sitting in you that's dormant. Because you got him in you, but he's just asleep. So we got to speak to him so he can get woke up. So you can get woke up and you can get an understanding. All right, family. So let's move this broadcast along. I told my wife I wasn't going to be long, but I don't know why I said that. Right? But we in Farm Money Network, we on a mission to fulfill the vision of the minister that he wanted in 1998, where he asked for 100 millionaires among us in Chicago. But now we have put a 1,000x on that. So we are going after 10,000 millionaires. And the minister also asked for 10,000 feelers. So to come in, get down with this and to get an understanding and become a millionaire with this, you're going to have to be fearless. Right? You can't be afraid. You can't be worried about taxes and what the government going to do. So you can never, see, as long as you're afraid, as long as they make you think about them before you do something that's right for you and your family and your future generations, then they're going to always rule you. Fear is one of the major elements that the enemy uses to control us. Fear. So you should be thinking about what Allah wants done, what the Christ wants done, not what the government talking about. We ain't gonna never invite you to break no law. Right? You just understand that. But you might don't understand it, you might don't comprehend it coming in. But the more you come in and listen to what we have to say, study the material we're telling you to study, then you're gonna see, damn, I've been around here tripping. This man ain't got no power. His power is diminishing. His power is all but over. Why is he still in power? It's because of us. We haven't united. We haven't stopped this fratricidal killing. Even the conscious, the so-called conscious among us, we can't come together without trying to debate ideology and doctrines. Time for that, right? That's why we don't call you out debate. We just gonna state facts here. But don't challenge us because we will accept it. And you will lose. Why? Because we have an invincible truth. But it ain't to beat you up. It ain't to step on your belief. It ain't to step on the God or whatever his name is, whatever you want to call it. No, it's to wake you up so we can unite. I don't care what you call your God. Whatever you call him. If it make you a better person, then it make you a better person. Let us come together and let us fight this enemy and let us close this wealth gap. Because this is where the problem is. So let's listen at the minister talk about this synagogue of Satan in this debt dollar and these 100 millionaires.
Oh. What happened to George Bush's stimulus package of nearly $800 billion? You don't even know where that went. Nobody's saying nothing. Nobody asking. But all of a sudden, our brother is the guilty party for putting America in debt. See, if you don't study, you cannot defend him. If you don't study, you can't help him. America went into debt starting in 1913. She was only $1 billion in debt in 1913, and in less than 100 years, she's $56 trillion in debt. How did that happen? Did Brother Barack do that? In 1913, some bankers, Jewish and Gentile, met on Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia, and they developed what would later become the Federal Reserve Act, which was passed in Congress December the 26th, 1913. And after that, a group of bankers began to control the monetary service of this nation. Oh, they're right around the corner, and where they print the money, and right next door is the Holocaust Museum. Some of you silly ones wonder why. You say, Farrakhan, why are you doing this? You're making it hard for all of us. No. If you don't know Satan, you can't get free from him. Did I say something? See, the book of Thessalonians puts it nice. That day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed. Not the spirit of sin. The man of sin. Sin is transgression of the law. And these, they're not really Jews. No. They've hijacked Judaism. Those that I'm talking about. This is the synagogue of Satan that you will read about in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Go ahead and study. They print your money. Used to be a time when we could go to the bank and pull out a $50 bill. I happen to have one. Mr. Grant's face is on it. But it says Federal Reserve note. But when I was a young boy, it used to be called a silver certificate. That you could take it to the bank, this is paper, and get in return real money. Silver. Take it to the bank now. See, you're being tricked every day. Bring your dollars or your old gold, and we will give you paper. Soon you'll be wiping your backside with paper because real money don't exist. America is broke. She's broke. Satisfied until we have the college level on. You help me by doing what you can in the economic field. Muslims, you shouldn't be around here looking to white people to give you a job. Go look in message to the black man and the economic blueprint. And if there are 4 of you, 6 of you, 8 of you together, pool your resources, go into business and set up business all over the south and west side of Chicago. I would like to see at least 100 millionaires among the Muslims in Chicago. If you're rich, I'm rich. I can always come and tell you about the needs of a nation. But if you poor and we poor, hell man, we can't be around here poor. I want to see rich Muslims. And if you obey Allah, there's no reason why you can't make a business successful. You just have to get up and stop being lazy and trifling and go do something for yourself. So we're going to put together a trade delegation of Muslims and, well, everybody's a Muslim. But there are those who have not confessed Islam, but they are brilliant in business. We made promises to governments, and we're going to fulfill our promise. There's all kinds of investment opportunities. Diamonds, gold, uranium, oil. I mean, you name it, Africa is open. And the Europeans are coming in with money and they're taking Africa. Well, why can't we go? They're ready to sell gold mines to us. They're ready for us to develop gold. Well, where's Michael Jackson? Where's Shaq O'Neal? Where? We need to pull our moneyed people together and let's do some business now, because we can't build a nation on the charity of the believer. We can only build a nation on a strong economic foundation that's built on business, agriculture, agribusiness. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So that's the minister acting for 100 millionaires. That's the minister talking about the fall of the dollar. So you hear it. So you can try to argue with me. I'm just telling you and reminding you what my teacher has taught me and what he has said. And me applying what he said has freed me from those crooked bankers that can give a man $750 million in funding, and that same man can turn around and fire 900 of his employees, right? So this is just what I'm telling you. So you don't argue with me, right? And you can't argue with him. You can't argue with his teacher, and you can't argue with his teacher. You go all the way back to the supreme being. We have it, right? But anyway, what we're doing for our money is we want to talk about this closing the wealth gap as we come to a close to this amazing broadcast, and we might do a part 2 to this next week, rather, next Tuesday. All right. And for those that don't know, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Forward Money. Please follow us on Instagram, Forward Money Network. Follow us on Facebook, Forward Money Network. And follow us on Twitter, Forward Money. I'm also on LinkedIn as Forward Mahdi, and I'm also on Facebook. My personal page is Forward Mahdi. So please make sure you connect with us on all social media platforms if you're there. The true cost of closing the racial wealth gap. What's the true cost? All right. So this was an article released by Economic View. The New York Times put this out back in, what month was that? Back in April, I want to say, of this year. Yeah, April. The last day of April. Elimination. Oh, I ain't read this first part. Policies like forgiving debt for all student loans and giving baby bonds to the world population won't be nearly enough to achieve racial wealth parity. And economics says elimination of the wealth gap between black and white Americans is a stated goal of President Biden and the Democratic Party. The gulf is enormous any way you look at it. Now, let's correct that. Joe Biden ain't trying to do a damn thing when it comes to this debt, to this racial wealth gap. Why? because they cannot control the United States Treasury and the Federal Reserve policies, right? And why is that? Do you know that when the Federal Reserve took over the printing of the dollar in 1913, that president that allowed that to go into law was a Democrat? Oh, Woodrow Wilson. Go Google it. If you go to Google for everything else, go to Google and look it up. Woodrow Wilson sold the American people. He was a Democrat president. Joe Biden is a Democrat. So you think a Democrat president is going to come change it? Now, in the last, since probably J.F. Kennedy, President Donald Trump, or former President Donald Trump, was the only one that spoke critically about the Federal Reserve. Why? Well, because he was a billionaire. He's in the wealth accumulation, asset accumulation. He understands it. He know it. But y'all don't remember that, though. Y'all talk about all the other stuff Trump did, right, that you didn't like. But Trump was talking down about the Federal Reserve the whole time he was in office. So bad that one of the grandsons, or great-grandsons of the Rothschild, tweeted about Trump, telling him to shut up, stop talking about the stock market. Y'all don't remember that? David Rothschild. He tweeted to Trump, telling him to shut up, stop talking about the stock market and the Federal Reserve. He said, every time you do it, idiot, it falls. Stop talking about it. Y'all don't remember that, though. You remember when Trump talked bad about us or whatever, right? You remember that. That's irrelevant. What he think, right? We say, but we back. They got us. Depending on the measure you use, the range is from $54,700 a person to $280,300 a person. I believe the higher figure is the most appropriate one. That amounts to a total of $11.2 trillion, a figure that implies that incremental measures will not be sufficient to address the enormous racial wealth disparity. These numbers are derived from data compiled in the Federal Reserve's 2019 survey of consumer finances. The survey shows that the gap in wealth between Black and white Americans at the median, the middle household in each community was $164,100. The median Black household was worth only $24,100. That's $140,000 difference. The median white household was $188,200. Well, that's that's $164,000 difference. But if we compare Black and white wealth at the mean for the average household in each community, the difference was $840,000, a far larger sum. The average figure for Black household was $142,500 for white households, $983,400, close to $1 million. This is why we go so hard about this. But we're going to do a part 2 to this next week, but we want to close. Go ahead and wrap up. Don't forget to subscribe to those channels. Don't forget to look at that link, that ticker that's running at the bottom of the screen, and get connected with us. We got to keep this an hour. That way we can always show a replay. So we're out of here, family. See y'all. Assalamu alaikum.